you're not going to believe it. The question of the week is for you and I this week. So not Sleezy E's taking a week off. So here we go. Question of the week. All right, question of the week. It's from Twitchy901. I think someone's been listening to us. Twitchy901. I've heard BT talk about being a manager and doing a wrestling site. I've been watching JB on doing videos of Tony Nese and others on his Twitch channel and expanding his content. This is a really good question. Thank you, Twitchy. 2 questions. What else do either one of you want to accomplish when it comes to wrestling? And who is the one person you want to interview? I'll go with you, JB. What else do you want to accomplish in wrestling? And who's the one person you want to interview?
Man, in all honesty, I never thought I would do all this in wrestling. For me, wrestling was never a gig. It was never a profession or anything I thought would be a part of besides being a fan. I am so thankful to be a part of this podcast. I am so thankful to be able to go to the Wrestle Center. There's streaming on Twitch. I do a bit of commentary, and going up to the Wrestle Center, Dustin and the students even, they all give feedback on the commentary that I can practice to do there. Just doing that is a dream come true for me. So anything that Memphis Wrestling would ask me to do or would want me to do is what I would want to do. Anything that could help Memphis Wrestling would be the next thing I would want to do. But shout out to the entire team. I honest to God, like commentary, I love to do, but man, I just enjoy watching this program. I enjoy being a fan. I enjoy doing what we do here, calling the action on this podcast, working with you. Hey, BT, maybe you and me can call a match one day.
I like that idea. I
like that one. That's what I want to do.
There you go, Dustin. There you go. And who would you like to interview, man? Who are you missing? Who's that one person in the business that you would love to sit down and pick their brain? I'm gonna let you think of it.
Off the top of the head, Dustin.
Oh,
yeah, wow, because he's worked with so many people. He's like, I've had so many.
I talk to Dustin too much, so no.
Shooting Star is amazing. Shooting Star answers a lot of my questions. If you haven't already, make sure you get the Patreon and get on Shooting Star. But Dustin, he's the first person that comes to mind. He's worked with so many people in so many different ways, and he's done so many different things when it comes to not just wrestling but entertainment.
Guys, y'all, I mean, if you want to go through, and I'm gonna plug myself, stspod.club, just do a search, Dustin Star, and he's got a bunch of free interviews. But the Shooting Star, man, guys, that is just $5 on Patreon.
Yes.
So I'm going to answer the question. 2 things. I love what we're doing right now. I love doing this thing with Memphis Wrestling. I love doing the podcast. Not only this podcast, but, I did this before these 83 weeks. I did my own podcast. So I enjoy doing that. And I used to be a manager and I traveled. I don't enjoy the traveling anymore. I make jokes about not wanting to go outside. It's one of those things. I really want to, just expand my content in the sense that I'll make different things for stspod.club. But I loved your idea, JB. I guess one of my bucket list was I would love to have been on Memphis Wrestling, which our faces have already been on Memphis Wrestling, which is cool. But just sitting down at the desk, either with you or Dustin or Maria, whoever, and just calling a match. I think that's one of the only things I can think that I would love to accomplish when it comes to wrestling. And when the one person I'd like to interview, and I've been around a lot of people in the business that are, I guess, very important to the business right now. So I I'm not starstruck is the best way to say it. The one guy I'd love to sit down and talk Memphis wrestling with is, and I'm going to the top, buddy, is The Rock. And that's the one person I would love to sit down and us just talk about Memphis wrestling. And they're filming The Young Rock right now, and he's in Memphis, the Memphis area. I would love to sit down and just ask him about Memphis wrestling. All right, guys, that was question of the week.